Highest mountain in Africa, and although it receives thousands of climbers each year, not everyone makes it to the top. Another group of South Africans reached the summit for the famous Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania last week for the Trek for Mandela expedition. Yes, it's Mandela Month. This was an initiative by mountain climbers as well as celebrities to raise funds for the sake of improving the lives of young girls across the African continent through a campaign named Caring for Girls. This group of enthusiastic South Africans keen on new adventures returned home yesterday. Now, with us in studio here is our very own reporter, Gillian Pillay, and then a camera person, Tumelo Setlhabetsi, who've been part of the trek up the mountain, and they're here to give us their experience. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Evan.
You guys don't look tired at all. You don't look like you've tanned or worked very hard. It must have been quite an easy walk up the mountain then for the two of you who are so fit.
Mountain sickness does that. You can't really see how exhausted we are. It just camouflages everything.
Tumelo, tell me, what was the highlight for you? It's such an amazing thing to go on. I wanted to go with some of my friends a couple of years ago, but it didn't happen. Tell me about your experience. Enriched you?
Mount Kilimanjaro is a mountain that you can never prepare for. It's something that you can think a lot about. It's because it goes beyond physical preparedness. It goes beyond so many things that one can think of, but it's something that one can achieve. You can go walking up there. But for me, I had to work with Gillian, and I also had to work with Gillian at the same time. And I was having my camera and all of my backpack throughout. And
so different levels of fitness, to be nice about it. Yes. Gillian, of course, is a marathon runner now. Gillian, are you going to do the Comrades next?
Hopefully first to Oceans, then Comrades. But even just getting back to your question, nothing can prepare you for Kili. And it's good that you don't know everything before summiting, because I think you would have that fear if you knew everything. It wouldn't have the same impact. Knowing less is better, and then just taking it in your stride and experiencing it for yourself. But it was exceptionally grueling. It was the hardest thing we've ever had to do, and we had a lot of technical difficulties in bringing the stories to the South African nation.
Harder than even covering Zamas who were shooting at each other and all that kind of thing. Even harder than that.
Much harder. That is a walk in the park.
Tell me, it's been a wonderful experience. I can see you guys are glowing, the both of you. It's really something, but it must even make it even 10 times better thinking about the campaign, Caring for Girls, and the contribution that you can make, even in a very small way, to this campaign.
You know, for me, when we arrived in Tanzania, I realized that we had a challenge with reception. Most guys couldn't reach. Most people couldn't call home and say, "Hey, we are safe. We made it safe to Tanzania. We are now getting ready for Kilimanjaro." And then everyone kept saying, as we were busy, me and Gillian and I, trying to put packages together, people kept coming to us. "Did you guys manage to send?" And we were like. That's when I realized personally that, okay, everyone is relying on us in terms of feeding the visuals to South Africa so that families at home can see that everyone is safe. So we really had it was challenging, but at the same time it was very interesting. It was great.
Once you got to the top, Joel, what was the thing that was in your mind and stood out for you?
When I got up to Gilman's Point, I thought that was Uhuru Peak, and I started crying. And then someone tapped me and said, no, they're in the far distance. You see there, 2 hours from here, 200 meters from here, that is Uhuru Peak. And I had nothing left to give Eben. I had nothing. I was fatigued. I was exhausted. But then I had to rely on my spirituality and, something from deep inside. And I slogged and dragged my feet, whether it's 5 steps and hyperventilating. I took quite some time to get out to Uhuru Peak, and then the tears just flow, It's because how difficult it was just to get to that point. And it's a liberating feeling, that you've pushed yourself beyond limits that you didn't think you could go to. For these girls, even you asked Tumelo the question about the campaign. Put yourself in the shoes of a young girl who can't go to school because she doesn't have sanitary pads. It must be dehumanizing to go to school and you have this mark on your skirt because of menstruation. And that's why we can give money.
Yeah.
We can do the easy thing.
Yeah.
But the most impactful thing is to go on top of that mountain to Uhuru Peak, which means, in Swahili, it means freedom, and make that statement.
Well, guys, you made a terrific statement, not just on behalf of yourselves as human beings, but on behalf of us here at the SABC. The intentions were fantastic, and the outcome, I think, even better than that. So, terrifically well done. I know it was a very, very difficult thing that you guys have gone through, but I'm sure it's something that you'll carry with you for the rest of your lives. Thanks for joining us here this morning.
Thank you for having us, Evan.
Brilliant. I want to do that one day. Hopefully I'll get lucky and someone will pick up the tab.